welcome back. Good afternoon, guys. And just as usual, just wondering if there's anybody in the chat. Can you just let me know if you can see everything and that you can hear me okay? Because as you know now, I can't tell if everything is okay from this side. I need someone to tell me it's okay. But then we'll go. And things are still okay in terms of the Premier League. We have 35 points. I think we've achieved our goals. Our goals were to avoid or to attempt to avoid relegation. I think that's attempting to avoid relegation. We are in 8th. We didn't have the best of runs last time, but we did manage to get a 3-0 win at Brighton to finish off, and that was a particularly pleasing result. When I say we didn't have the best of runs, we played 5 games. We won 2, drew 2 and lost 1, and we were unlucky, I think, against Manchester City. We played well, but Haaland was the difference in that game. 2 goals for Haaland, but I think we played well enough. So overall, I don't think it was a bad episode. I'm a bit hard on the team most of the time, but we are predicted to finish in 20th and we are in 8th. Hey Max, yeah, I've had a bit of a rough week this week. People, doctors poking and prodding, but hopefully it's done now, at least until I come back from my holiday. Chuck Adit, thanks for feeding back and welcome to the stream. I don't believe we've chatted before. And welcome. And so we have to start with a cup game, and it's not an easy game. We have to play against Wolves. Wolves are a decent team, and they will cause me problems. According to the scout report, you can see that they are a decent team. They're far better than us, but I am noticing that their positioning is not very good. If our off the ball movement is good up front, then we will cause them problems. They're not very brave. They don't tackle well. And I'm looking for aggression, but it's not coming up as a negative. If they weren't aggressive, I might be tempted to get stuck in as well. But because they don't tackle well, because they are not very brave, it might be a good idea at least to try to get stuck in at the beginning. Let's take the game to them. What worries me is we might give away too many free kicks. So I'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to play balanced, and the style of play that they are going to use is going to be wing play, apparently. And it doesn't look, according to the analyst's report, that they're going to play in any other way. They played in a 5-2-3 once or twice, but they don't start with it, but they do create chances using that system. So it's not a defensive system as such. But I think they'll probably line up in their 4-2-3-1 and try to put pressure on us. So with that in mind, just start with a standard line and see where we go from there. We'll continue just to play direct football. We've got a fully fit team, and so we're ready to go. Usually from Joshua, hey, how you doing? Usually from FM Scout or Sorted Out. That's where I get them from. Gantavia, thank you very much for your feedback. Really appreciate it. And welcome to the stream. I also don't believe I've chatted to you very much in the past. So welcome. And we are going to go and play this Wolves game now. I really am not bothered about the cup, but the cup is the cup, and a win is a win, and the win is more important than getting into the next round, just to keep morale going well. We have achieved our goals in terms of the FA Cup, and so it won't really matter. Hartel is fit. He's not in my selection in my team at the moment. Work the ball into the box. I'm going to leave that off for now because I want us to be taking shots, not to dwell on the ball too much, not to slow it down too much. But it's probably something I have to keep an eye on. And we do have a new signing on the bench, Fazzini. And at the moment, he's just going to be on the bench. And European football, I very much doubt it. I'm waiting for the complete disaster to happen. I do need to turn the sound off because that'll annoy the crap out of you guys. And we will go. So obviously, as a beginner, the first thing I'm going to do is go back to my opposition instructions, and you can see he's changed his mind. He's got a lot of tight marking going on up front. I'm not quite sure that is what we need to be doing particularly. I think we need to be stopping the ball getting to them. And so I think I really want to do something with these centre mids rather than... So I'm actually going to tight mark Perrone, who does have the ability to pass the ball. And I want to also put him on his right foot. So a lot of instructions for this team. And that does concern me. Hey, Reckons, how are you doing, my friend? Joshua, no, we're not going to get European football. Love the sarcasm. And it's not really sarcasm because it is a beginner's save. And that's one of the things you don't really need to bother about, except you need to be vigilant. If you're a beginner, then just be vigilant about who is going to be likely to providing the passes that will create the opportunities. And I want them to pick up where they left off last time. They did well against Brighton. It surprised me. Let's go and see if we can't beat Wolves. I brought George Hurst back into the side, and hopefully he'll have a good game. He is our top scorer. And, I have put Fazzini in the team for some reason. It wasn't, I don't think that was my decision, but he is getting a game, Fazzini. Just brought him in. Just have a look at him. He's decent. I'd say he's decent. I'm not saying he's a great player, but his mentos are good, and he can tackle and he can mark to a degree. So I think he's decent. And yeah, I do remember changing the team to bring him in. And so we are the better team at the beginning, which is always nice to see. We're in a low block. As per usual, there's no need to do anything other than a low block. Get bodies behind the ball, regroup when we lose the ball. We are useless when it comes to pressing the opposition high up. So let's just regroup, boys, if you lose the ball. That's the instructions. Can they keep to it? Who knows? And we are the better team. We're taking the game to Wolves. We are the away team as well. And our away form is really poor. So let's get a win away from home, boys, even though it's just the cup. And that's a lovely pass, and it's a chance, and we still can't score goals from close to the goal. It's been a long week, yeah. It's been a very, very long week, Reckons. And it's not the heart itself or the lungs which were the issue which caused the surgery. It's the knock-on effects that are causing the problems, but they're trying to deal with them as best they can. And fair play to them. And Morton has a chance, and he's hit the crossbar. Come on. That should have gone in. But if we don't take our chances, we are not going to win this game. And we're absolutely hammering them. And I can see that the assistant might be right. Because our shots on target ratio is absolutely dreadful. And Wolves are being pushed back. You can see that from the graph how far back they are. And it is interesting that when you look at that, you'd think we're not playing a low block, but we are. What's causing the problem is that we are dominating the game. And what we are doing is, if we lose the ball, we're going to just, like Amarin has been saying, we're just going to run back as fast as possible, get into shape when they get the ball, and then, like this, take the ball off them. And we're not engaging them to win the ball until we are in our own half, which does mean there's a long way to go to get it close to the goal. But we're doing all right. And we are counter-attacking nicely, patiently. This is lovely stuff. We have a chance and we've hit the post again, but he's put it in finally. And this boy could turn out to be a good signing, this Ryan Gold. He could be a very good signing. He's scored, I think, twice and 2 assists since he's come in. And we are away. And I thought it was going to be one of those days, but it came back to him and he tapped it in. And Wolves really are surprising me. They're not putting any pressure on me. You can see clearly they are playing a wing play. And the get stuck in is working, but I do have to be aware we will give away free kicks. We've always been vulnerable from set pieces. And I close my eyes when the opposition get a set piece, because it's never pretty. But the low block seems to be holding out, and Wolves are coming back into the game. I think we've stung them a little bit there. They've got the match momentum. They are still focused down the wings. The standard line, of course, is the obvious thing now to stop them using the spaces behind us. But there was a little change. And this is something that you need to keep an eye on. It changed suddenly. And so we'll wait for this highlight. Again, it's down the flanks that they're trying to go. We're defending well down the flanks. But there is a little change in the way that they're playing. And they aren't afraid to come up the middle and try that now. So the standard line might not be the most effective thing. And Wolves have scored. And I guess that's because they've changed their focus of play. And they've not been afraid to come down to use the space in the middle. And that's like typical FM. We've been much the better team, but you can see how many players they've got in this space in the middle. Can clearly see it. And so, I'm not going to do it yet. I just want to have a look. Yeah, okay, we've seen enough of that goal. But you can clearly see now there's been a change in the way that they're playing. So I'm going to push my line up now to stop them using that space, to stop those players getting space anywhere near the middle of the pitch. And then hopefully it will force them back, which it's doing. And we can go back to a more standard line if necessary. We'll just keep an eye on it. We've got the ball again. And if necessary, then we'll go back to a standard line if they've started going down the flanks again. This could be a game of chess. And Gould is in, but he's missed it. What a chance. What a chance. But now you can clearly see that they are back down the wings again. When they go back down the flanks, we get the ball. And the little change that I made seems to have shifted the momentum again. So don't do anything. If the momentum is back, don't change it back yet. We've got another chance, and that's gone to the goalkeeper. Gould is playing hell with them at the moment. And I'm wondering if I should focus my play down the left so that he's getting more of the game. But that long ball is fine. But I do have to be aware that my defence is higher up now. And if they start putting long balls over the top, then I do have to be aware that could be a problem. So this is like a little game of chess now, because Wolves are showing they are capable of changing what they're doing. We've got another chance, and we have scored again. And the momentum has shifted back. Wes Burns on the right has made it 2-1. And now do I go back to a standard line? Vixen, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm good. Good to see you again. And it's lovely to have you in the chat. Music, it's good to see you. Like the Christmas Grinch. And birds for Ballon d'Or. Oh, yeah. But this is just the cup. I wish it was the league. And clearly I can see now that they are going back down the flanks. They've given up going down the middle, even though they scored going down the middle. So I'm going to lower my line again. And I'm going to see if they start playing up through the middle again when I do that. And this is like a little game of chess going on here. We've still got the momentum. We are still clearly using Gould down the left, so I don't need to do anything. So I think we're doing well, getting shots away. You might be winning, but that could all change. Let's tell them they weren't that bad, but they can still improve. And I don't need to go to the assistant because I think that he's got it. We've got it worked out between us. We are preventing them using any space. You can see that our lines are very compact. And it's very difficult for them to find any space at all between our lines. And that's how we play this game. That's how we're getting results in this save and how we're getting results in the Newcastle save. It's because we are stopping the opposition from playing the way that they want to. And having made that change back, they're still not looking like they are going to be playing up the middle anymore. Christmas reckons is just another day for me. Christmas is great if you've got family and kids. I'm thinking of streaming on Christmas Day because I know there are other people who are going to be alone on Christmas Day, and why not stream? And if people are alone, then they can come and join the stream and hang out. So I'm thinking about it. We shall see. But it's just another day for me, reckons. And my Christmas will come when I go on holiday later, 3 weeks later, when I get to meet all my friends again and hang out. And there'll be lots of presents handed out, I'm sure. So that will be my Christmas 3 weeks later. But we are certainly the better team. We are dominating the game. We've defended well. And we have another chance. And that boy Gould has gone and done it again. And we are burying Wolves at the moment. This is incredible what we are doing. And a couple of good signings that we made. And boy, has it made a difference. We still got some of the transfer window left, and I got a ton of money, which I can't spend. What formations do I suggest? I think any formation will work. This is an asymmetric system, as you can see. It's not about the formation. It's about getting bodies behind the ball. And if you have wingers high up, they will still get behind the ball. The shape, basically, you're telling them to keep their shape and get behind the ball. So if you look at when we are defending, which isn't happening very often in this game, but if you look at, we'll pause it when we're defending. Remember, I've got an attacking midfielder. I've got a winger playing high up. I've got a winger playing low back. But if we look at the shape that we're in when we're defending, it's like a 4-4-2 that we're taking up, but we're not going to see any defending at the moment. I'm going to make some changes now because we've got another big game coming up very shortly. Fulham, who did us last time, and these boys have done extremely well. I'm going to bring Delap on to rest Hurst. See if Delap can get a goal. And then reluctant to take Gould off. Jason probably needs a run out. He's got to start playing in this team. So I'll bring Wes Burns off. And I want to change Fazzini for Humphreys. And we'll leave it at that for now. Afternoon, Blob. How are you doing, my friend? So yeah, it's I hope we'll get to see another. What are these bozos doing? The corner was given a long time ago. So we're going to be defending now. And if we just once they we've got the ball back, we're going to be counter-attacking now. And we are actually taking them apart. And Wolves gave us a very difficult game last time. Go on, Jason. Go on. Go on, son. What was that? And that is why Jason can't get in the team. That was... What? That's the kind of thing I might have done, you twit. That's like... yeah, I could just see me doing that. Just total panic. I just wonder... I gotta have a look at his composure. His composure's 13. Finishing as though he's 12, but for a winger, that's all right. But his composure, he should have done better than that. It says he's just a dreadful player. And I, like, managing this team is awful because you know the players are so bad. Let's make some more changes. Ah, boy. I can see there are two very tired players there. So Ndaba will come on. And we have Hartel, who can come on for Morton. And so I think we've done a very, very good job. You can see Wolves have not changed the way that they're playing. They're focusing mainly down our right. But that now might be an idea to put him as a fullback on support. If they're focusing down there, he's not very experienced, and I don't want them to be running past him. But they got their goal when they changed their style to playing more down the middle. But then when I pushed the line up higher, they immediately went back to wing play. I shut the lines back again, shunted the lines back again, and then they gave up. So I'm wondering if for the last 5 minutes they might try and go down the middle, which they are. And we hopefully can snuff this out. Well done, boys. And it's just a couple of minutes left now. We need to see the game out. So I want to start time wasting a little bit. Not too much as yet. Bah humbug to Christmas. I'm pretty sure that for a lot of people, Vixen, it's a good event. I mean, when I was in Vietnam with all my... Oh, we've hit the post again. With all my friends, we used to, even though we were working through Christmas, we only had Christmas Day off, but we managed to party a little bit. It was quite fun. Here in the UK, there is no one, so it's just kind of like another day. And are we going to see this low block, or are we going to win the ball again? Okay, if we stop it, come on, pause. If we were able to stop it, you could have seen that our lines were like a 4-4-2. Even though we're playing in this asymmetric shape, we've gone into a 4-4-2 in this low block. 2 lines of 4, and then the 2 in front. And we are winning the knockdowns, which is always a good sign in FM. If you're winning the second balls, you're obviously in control of the game. Jason gets a ball into the box and it is 4-1. We are rocking at the moment. 4-1, and we've done this just controlling the space that they are not able to use now. They wanted to use the space behind us. We've stopped them doing it. And if you do make good decisions, FM rewards you. If you make poor decisions or no decisions at all, the game doesn't reward you. And Humphreys has come on and he has scored. And I think that's probably game over, referee. Enough now. We don't want them to have a consolation at the end. That's fine. We will just now move this to a lot. And boy, we have thrashed them. We have absolutely thrashed them. What a performance by Ryan Gould. That boy could be a good signing. That was an excellent win for us. And, hey Jerry, catching up on the Ipswich vids after the latest vid on the lines and watching. Started winning a lot more games. Yeah, I mean, as I said in that video, there's 2 ways to play this game. And if you don't watch it as a manager, basically you are just giving control to the AI. If you're playing key highlights and then don't do anything, you're just giving control to the AI, and the AI will decide what the result is going to be. If you actually play as a manager and make good decisions, the game will reward you. We just saw it there. When they came back into the game, it was because they started playing down the middle. And what we did was stop them playing down the middle, then forcing them to go back wide. And then I could just adjust to what I was doing before. And the game rewarded me for that, for being vigilant, for watching what was going on. And we're not going to win every game, because we are not good enough. But we are going to survive and survive well. We've now got this 2-3 big Premier League games coming up. None of these are going to be easy, Arsenal especially, but I'll probably get a better result against Arsenal than any of the others. So we're doing well. So, I mean, I watched somebody else's stream, and he plays it like he's a spectator. And he's been 6 seasons now, and he has not won a single trophy. And it was really sad that he came second on goal difference in season 5. He's just not interacting with the game. So the game is choosing not to reward him. And then he's just lost another cup final. And it's breaking my heart. But I can't see, because he's playing the game so quick in key highlights, it's very difficult to see why he's going wrong. And these boys need a rest. And they need a big rest. I can't give them 2 days, though. So we've done well, and we are in the next round of the cup. I wonder who we're going to get in the next round. It's just, I'm not really interested in the cup, and I keep saying that, and we keep winning. And, it's not fair. I don't want to win in the cup. I want to win in the league, but it's good for morale. He's accepted those. Okay, that's fair enough. The problem I have with the finances is I have 30 million to spend. But I can't, because we are way over the wage budget, or at least we are 19,000. But the board will not let me make an adjustment to the wage budget. So I could use 10 million of my transfer budget to get another, I don't know, 100 grand or 200 grand on the wages, but they won't let me. So I can't spend that money at the moment. And with just a few days left, I've got a number of players who I'm trying to sell. Many of these players down the bottom can go. Harness, I want him to go. I want him out the door as fast as possible. he has wages of 12.5. So that would be, let's try hiring an intermediary. No interest. And it's like, this is not fair. Edmondson, I'd like him to go. Let's hire an intermediary. We've got some interest there. Let's go for number 2. It's a little bit higher. See if he can move him on. Al-Mohammadi, I'd like him to go. But nobody seems to be interested. We get a lot of this. And at the end of the day, we can't sell them on. Jack Taylor is probably another one who can go. Let's hire an intermediary for him. With no interest in him. But his value's too high for the quality of player that he is. So let's bring his value down. I mean, it's not transfer money that I want. So let's bring his transfer value down. See if we can get people interested. And Rocco Vata, he's not really part of my plans. He's got high value, but he's not part of my plans. I'm going to probably transfer list him. Preferred, but he's open. He hasn't played very much. Let's put a value of 4.9 million on him and see if we can't move him on. I've just got to get the wage budget down, then I could bring somebody really special in with 30-something million. I don't know where I'd want to bring someone in. I might need your help, guys. where I'm going to bring someone in. And Fulham are very dangerous because they're rubbish. That makes them very, very dangerous. Because my defence is rubbish. We're scoring goals at the moment. They're not very brave as well. Poor work rate, poor decisions. They're not very determined, which means that they might not be too happy about getting stuck into tackles. First touch is dreadful. We need to put pressure on them. Off the ball is dreadful. Their concentration is dreadful. They don't... But it doesn't mention aggression or strength. So I just might make the decision to get stuck in off this time. Fulham are going to play in a control possession. We've got to go back to that team report. The control possession. Their passing is poor. The composure is poor. I think I saw their vision is poor. I think I saw that their first touch is poor. I think their off the ball is poor. Stamina and work rate are poor. And their decisions are poor. How on earth are they going to play this complex tactic? I really don't know. So what I'm going to do, because they're going to try and play in front of us, I'm going to lift the line up. Stop them playing in front of us. This is a game we should be winning, but these are the most difficult games. And does that affect the finances at all? Not a jot. I am so frustrated with the game sometimes. I can't sell players. And I've got all that money burning a hole in my pocket. Hurst or Delap? Let's try Delap. Hurst has played a lot of football. Delap is starting to play okay as a poacher. And I do agree. Humphrey's back in. Rotate a little bit. What was that? Home advantage should give us the edge. I don't know. I'm waiting for disaster to set in. If we get 3 points today, we'll be 38 points. And that's beyond my wildest expectations. So I am waiting for disaster. Ooh, Vatter. He's rejected it. Are you crazy? So he'll this is my proposed 10.75 million. Let's go 7.5 million. I don't want Vatter. Oh boy. He's rejected 5 million. 3.4. He's rejected that one. Okay, I'm gonna have to take control of this. So we're gonna go to the responsibilities, and we're gonna go to, where is it? Transfers and contracts. I'm going to take control of all this now. Actually, that one is okay. He can carry on, but I'm going to take control of these rather than allow, because I want to sell them. So I don't want my director of football. You see, that's good enough for me, because his wages are 18.75. That will take me under. And he's sitting in the... He's not doing anything. He's sitting at home most of the time. So I want to sell these players. 22-year-old centre-back. Good tackling, good marking, good heading. Can dribble a little bit. Work rate is okay. Position. He's not great. His composure's terrible. Vision is very poor. And he hasn't got any pace. So, well, looks like a good signing, isn't a good signing. So we've got... Oh, I shouldn't have done this because there's a lot of teams in here. But I quite like it. So we'll do it until we get drawn out. I think there's only 16 games, isn't there? Well, we don't want Man City. Don't want Haaland. Poor old Fulham. Oh, it's a top signing. Yeah, I can't... Unless he comes up on my scouting list, I can't sign him. Aston Villa, Newcastle, we'd take that in the Newcastle save. Oxford, we'll take Oxford. Come on, Ipswich. No! Get into the... there's still a lot of teams, and let's advance to the end, because this could drive people nuts. Stockport or Coventry, we'll take that one. So we could get to the quarterfinals. Which would be like really weird. But now we've got to focus on Fulham. We've got to beat Fulham. I think I want to play positive against Fulham. I think we have to go and take the game to them. I want to get bodies behind the ball. That's not going to affect the way that I attack. Regrouping and getting bodies behind the ball does not affect how you attack. And no deal for Jack Taylor. Vatter's failed. We had an offer for him, didn't we? And turned it down. We'll offer via the transfer. I don't want him. Let's see if that can attract some... I mean, there's so many good players that I could buy. but he's too old. If we go, I mean, I don't even know what position I would want to fill. It would be just like buy someone for the sake of it. He's injured, unfortunately, but we could afford him. Rodriguez, 21-year-old. He would fit the profile. A striker or a winger. Can't play here, though, unfortunately. I don't know why he can't play there, but he would definitely be someone that would be worth bringing in. Even as a striker, finishing composure isn't good, though. So there are so many good players here we can afford. Furman, lovely player. Perfect for what I'm trying to do here. 21 years old again. Fits what the board want. Elliot Anderson. Can play in a number of positions. Very, very good player. We can afford all these players. But who would I sign? It'd be nice to get some foreigners in, wouldn't it? Another left winger. But I've just brought Gold in as the left winger. Couldn't afford Cunha. Who's this geezer? Striker. Luvumbo. Looks like a tasty player to me. Plenty of pace. Can play in a number of positions. So there's so many good players that I could bring in. Luis Suarez. Are you sure? But most of these are wingers. So let's go. Yeah, that's why. Let's just get the full list. If we could get a really good defender. Or two really good defenders. A good centre-back. I mean, that guy would be nice, but we're not going to raise that kind of cash. As you can see, I've got them ranked, or should be ranked in age. So they want me to sign players under 23. So you can just look through these by age and find players who are good now but have great potential, like Hutchinson. Like Chukwuemeka. I can't sign him because I can't say his name. Good players with bags of potential. And if centre-back would be priceless. Who could also play a right-back would be absolutely brilliant. But getting someone in who is the right age for the board as well. Lots of forwards, but not too many defenders. Interesting. I mean, without sales, I can't do anything on that yet. We got to focus on Fulham. And I really don't know if Fulham can actually play in a control possession style. I think we need to be playing the same way and being vigilant. I have a funny feeling that if we pin them back, that they might go balls over the top. They might go direct counter-attack. Yeah, pick up where you left off. That worked last time. And let's get their morale going for the first 10 minutes. Go, obviously, back to our opposition. Iwobi, I think, caused me a lot of problems last time, didn't he? So let's type mark Iwobi and Polinia. Let's try and take those guys out of the game. We've got a higher line, so we should be close to them. A 3 points here would be like a feast, because we would have 38 points at this stage. I think we'd be pretty much safe from relegation then. I keep talking about relegation when we're sitting in 8th. But it is about avoiding relegation, and that's a poor pass. And I did make the change and brought Morton in, and that wasn't the greatest of starts. But again, once again, that we've seemed to have set up right because we've got the ball. So FM has decided, okay, for now we can have the ball because we've set up the lines correctly. Oh, chance. Poor pass, but they're counter-attack. But we've won the ball back. Well done. Come on, boys. Come on. Let's get an early goal here. Let's put the willies up them that they are not playing against no-hopers here. This boy Gould may well be the signing of the season. What a chance! And Diamond, get in! Has driven one into the net. Oh boy, what a start. And I thought we'd lost the ball then. For a minute I thought we'd given the ball away again. But that was determination. Gonna have a look at his determination. Let's have a look at what his determination is. 14. He's got quite high determination, and he made sure he got to the ball first. And that's a brilliant start. Does that put us back in 7th? This is crazy. This season, it's crazy. But I think we've got the lines right. You can see Iwobi is definitely the main man, and he's got 100% pass completion, which and I gotta close my eyes when I see a set piece again. We are dreadful from set pieces, and I mean Grossabal is not short at the back post, so he should be decent. Now FM has given the ball back to Fulham. Now I want to know why, and they are like passing it around. And they are able, and this is a dangerous area, always a dangerous area. Referee's given a goal kick or a penalty or a corner. What's he given? A corner. And I do believe they might have changed their style. Well done, goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper. So Fulham are mostly playing down the middle. But there is a little emphasis down the left. So do need to be careful down the left, down the right. But he's on support. He should be able to deal with that. Fulham have got all the momentum, even though they're playing exactly how I want them to. But they're yeah, there's definitely a focus down the left now. They're definitely trying to get in this space. And I need to stop that. And that would mean that they're not playing control possession as such, but they're... And we got to watch where there's the space here. There's 2 men out there. They've got a 2-on-1 at the back post. This area is dangerous. Okay, I need to do something here. And it might be that I have to push the line up much higher. We need to be closing down that space here. They're coming inside, aren't they? On the right-hand side. We're giving away far too many set pieces for my liking. I have no idea. We've set the lines up as we should. Come on, counter-attack. We've got to get this momentum back. There is this focus, which is starting to look more like a control possession, definitely. But I can't get the ball off them at the moment. They will score eventually if I don't get the ball off them. It's hard to say. It is wing play, but when they get... Oh, we have finally given the penalty away, have we? Oh, he's going to have a look. Yeah, this was coming. I could see it coming. And I think maybe what I've got to do is get us out of that area. Let's try playing a little bit further up the pitch. If they are able to use the space, then we've got to get out of that area. This is always a penalty for the opposition and never a penalty for me. It's so weird. Well, I think we've got to stop playing in the low block because they are finding space between the lines. So we have to stop this low block and have to move out. And I'm going to shout at them, I want more. I've just got to find the place where we need to play on the pitch now. I need this momentum back. It's all Fulham. So maybe I need to push everybody up. I mean, look at this. They're passing. It's hard to say. Pereira might be someone that's causing us problems. Let's hard tackle him. Let's show him that we're... So we're still under the cosh, and we still can't get the ball back off them. I'm not quite sure why this is. They're a poor team. Why are they dominating us? What have I got to do? What do I need to do to get the ball back? There's something I'm not doing. I'm going to tell my fullbacks to close down a little bit more. Because if they're coming inside, I need to make sure that they're not able to get shots away or crosses from the corner of the penalty box. But they are using the flanks now in the main. It's just like really weird. This is a tough game. This is a very, very tough game. But we're not out of it. Oof, Humphreys with a rifler. We are not out of this yet. Gould is playing well again, as well as Timon. So if we can get those two boys on the ball, it might help us. So let's just focus our play down the left only. Let's get these two boys on the ball. We've come back into it. We've taken the momentum back. So maybe it was moving to the low block, the mid block, that's going to help. We can still win this. Keep working hard. Delap has let me down again. Chaplin has let me down. But maybe going to the mid block has helped. So it might be even, let's push up. Let's play the game in their half. We don't have to counter-press them, even though we're in their half. But pushing up and playing the game in their half of the pitch might be what's required. Indeed, it might even be, let's say, let's counter-press them. When we lose the ball, let's not regroup. That's a good idea. Let's take regroup off. So that we're not just going to go back and defend. That we will at least engage them at some point. You can see that the lines now in the mid-block. We're like a 4-4-2. Well done, boys. Well done. Going into the mid-block has definitely helped. And we do have a chance, and he's blown it. I expect more of that boy. Got to identify who's not playing well now, because we need to make some changes in a minute. It's such a shame because I can't figure out why. The lines are right, because of you can clearly see they're playing in front of us. But for some reason, they've played out of their skin and they have been able to get in the spaces. But we've got the momentum back now with the mid-block, and I'm half tempted to push up. Pushing up might mean that we are more aggressive in their half. We still might score, though. Come on, into the box. Ah, what was that? You had like 4 people in the penalty area. And you tried a shot from an impossible angle. What was that? Oh, boy. Well, we have a very tired player, Tyler Morton. So we will bring Frazzini in. Switch him over with Humphreys. Ryan Gould is very tired. Let's try Ling. And I'm going to bring on... Now, let's leave that for now. I might have to substitute other players. Wes Burns is having a bad game. We've done fairly well apart from that. We've still got the momentum, and I'm still tempted, if I push the line up a little bit more, that we might get the reward, because we definitely got the momentum back by playing in a mid-block. Have I got it in me to take that risk? Push up a little bit more. Let's see who has the next highlight. If we have it, then I'll push the line up. There's no highlight, so I'm actually going to do it. This is a game of risk, after all. We're going to try and play the game in their half now. See if that works. And we don't have the highlight. So it's probably not worked. Good block, though. Good block. It's now two teams who are attacking. Is the game which one is the game going to favour? I want to make sure that he's defending that left-hand side. Timon is going missing, so I want to make sure he is defending that left-hand side. I do have some subs I can still make. Timon is... Humphreys is very tired. Very important. And Chaplin has just not cut it today. Jason can go up instead of Chaplin. And Sola can come on the wing. I want to keep Timon on because he's had a good game. And we are focusing in that area because Gould and him are working well together. Gould, however, has been subbed, which is now a thought, do I want to keep focusing on the left? That was a poor pass. Oh, good save. I will take that instruction to focus down the left off. And I'm going to focus play up through the middle. I'm going to draw them into the middle and try and free up the wing backs. But it looks like a 1-1 draw. And these games against bottom of the league teams just get harder and harder. They don't look like a bottom of the league team to me. Go on, tackle him. Nicely done. Come on, counter-attack. One counter-attack and we're in. That's a poor pass. Who was that? It's just two teams looking to get the winner now. I'm going to go attacking. Just see if I can push players up for the last minute or so. It looks like a 1-1 draw. And that's disappointing. It's really disappointing. We could have got 38 points at the end of this, but we blew it. And I'm surprised that Fulham were as good as they are. Because they're a poor team, but then so are we. I keep forgetting, so are we. But the way we've been playing, recent form would have suggested. Not to worry. I'm going to say it simply wasn't good enough. They weren't good enough today. But we are still in 8th. And Everton have nipped above us. If we can get in that 7th spot. Chelsea, though, do have a game in hand. I mean, we're going to go down to 8th or 9th. I think once Chelsea play, we'll be in 9th. Which is annoying. Because we should have been good enough. And the next fixture is an away trip to Arsenal. How wonderful. So we know how we're going to play against Arsenal. We don't even have to look at it. We will play probably with a higher line. We're going to regroup. We're going to defend for our lives and counter-attack. So we just go and have a look at Arsenal. Tiki-taka. And they can see from the graph that they're going to play in front of us. So we have to have a higher line. At least to begin with. And just defend for our lives. And I'm not expecting a result here. Reducing the extra amount of individual training. Okay, let's take him off that for now. I don't really need to look at this. I'll look at these. Defensive near post. They're not good at defensive near post set pieces. So I'm going to play for set pieces. And then when it comes up, we're going to do some training on attacking corners. Yeah, but unfortunately they had to play a lot of games early in the season, so I've not had any word from any of their managers. Somebody did suggest in the comments to not register them, and that And one of them, I think I've not registered. One of them. Or I was going to, but then I know what the game will do then is that it will injure players in that position so that I don't have cover. I don't want to answer stupid questions. Thank you very much. Look at how much defending my assistant manager's doing in training. He would probably be a good signing. But I can't sign anyone at the moment. So I want to do attacking corners as well as attacking free kicks. Because if they're not good, and I have instructed my set piece coach to do near post. What on earth are we doing in the relegation zone? A good point. Good point, James. We did beat Brighton. We beat Brighton quite easily 3-0. A rather strange result. We have got to deadline day, have we? Well, if I can't sell players, I can't bring anyone in. He's going for height, I think. Or he might be saying those two boys are tired. Let's go with what he said. It's an unusual request that he's making. He might be going for experience. I'm not sure about Delap. I think we'll go for experience with Hurst. The rest are good players. I need to sell some players. And then we can bring someone in. We only need to make one good signing. I don't know even where, though. KG press conference. Well, yeah, I would be a bit cagey as well with Arsenal coming up. Jack Taylor, they can stay out. I've got 3 vacant spaces, though. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't have anybody that I want to put in there. Put them back in the squad. They'll start asking for playing time. I'm just going to leave it for now. But I want some offers. Come on, FM. Give me some offers for my players. What was that? I think we need to keep the momentum going. Yeah, let's say that. And maybe I'm not getting offers because I'm not answering there. Who's Lucas Tamarez? I don't think I want that to go through. Edmondson has gone. How does that affect my finances? I'm still over the top. It's I've sold one of the 5 players that I want to try and sell. That's how nice FM is to you. So let's try Marcus Harness again. Let's offer him out. Edmondson has gone, hasn't he? Has he gone? Who was the one that was sold? He hasn't gone yet, but I think he's gone. Al-Hamadi. Let's see if we can't sell him. Let's reduce his price down to about 4.9, 4.8. Desperation setting in now. Jack Taylor. Of course, you get criticised by the board then, don't you? Because the price is too low. He's listed as well, isn't he? Rocco Vata. Let's bring him down to under 5 mil. Let's offer him out as well. But I don't think the game is going to allow me. It doesn't want me to have that money to spend. The other thing I can do is just go and buy someone, make a purchase, then see what the board have to say about it. But I know what will happen. We won't be able to negotiate his salary. It's really bonkers. Let's not go on age now. Let's go on ability. Let's get up to the top. I mean, he's a good player for the future, this guy. I'd bring him in at 19 for sure. And we got the money to do it. And he's not on that high a wage. He might want more. You need to try and avoid players who are on high wages. Yeah, I kind of felt forced into it with the amount of transfer budget, Dav, that we had. We only had 28 million coming into the Prem. So I kind of felt we have to have a couple of loanies in here. Maybe you're right, maybe poor on my part. We shouldn't have too many loanies. They just have not played. They're very good players, apparently, but they've been awful. Really awful. I don't understand why they are so awful. There's another thing that I don't understand is why our away form is so bad. This is kind of supposed to be a beginner save, but it's not functioning at beginner level. I think it's running off the experienced profile that I have. I think the game does that. It runs off your profile rather than taking it this is a new. We could go for Diallo, couldn't we? We could try and get Diallo in, but he's going to want a huge wage. Let's just ask his agent. We've got the money, but we haven't got his wage. $56 to $67. I think we should be looking to get someone like him in. So let's try. Let's make an offer. 16.5 million. Installments. They want another 14. Well, let's offer them 8 or 7.5. And they've gone for that. Okay. We'll try and get Diallo in. I can't see it happening because the board now will not allow me. He wants to be a fringe player. Are you kidding me? We want to take that out. And we want to take that out. $50. Oh, they will allow me. The board are going to allow me to do this. I mean, it's kind of strange that I've been allowed to make that purchase with the money that Hartel send him home. So Diallo, that was quick. We have signed Diallo, but he's coming in as a fringe player. I think he's his attributes suggest that he's good enough to be playing. Concentration and decisions are poor, but you shove him on the wing, and that's not really a big problem. 27 million, the board are going to be critical. But I can't get this wage budget down at all. So they are happy that he's such a good player. He's a bit selfish, but we might have to live with that. Assign a squad number, that's easy. And then squad registration, we can just bring him in, can't we? And he's homegrown as well. Who's this guy? He's bringing in a defender. He wants, but not a left. I don't need a left back. Go to the squad planner. It's a right back. Not even. I don't even need a right back. Timon and Furpo. I don't need. But he can play as a left winger in emergency. He's just a. I wouldn't sign him. I'm gonna go with my let's go with the assistant. We've only got a few hours left now. Have I got any money left? I could try another one. Let's try and get a right back or a centre back. Let's try and get a centre back. And we'll just pop in centre half there. Nice little centre half. £4.6 million. Nice looking player. Salas. Good Mentos. Good physicals, 6'2", very good in the air. Marking and tackling is good. He's an option and can play left back if necessary. So Salas is an option. Let's put him on the short list. Hello, short list for 10 minutes. In case I lose him, I guess. So we have Salas. Do I have anybody on the short list in defence? Sessignon, Salas. And then there's this guy. It's not really a central defender, and I want a central defender. He would possibly be useful as a ball-playing defender. Good Mentos. Very good in the air. His jumping reaches and very good. So let's go back to Cresswell. Charlie Cresswell. 22 years old, young boy. Mentals are decent. Anticipation isn't very good. Physicals are very good. His jumping reach is good. Marking, tackling, pretty good. 22 years old. He's got a couple of years development. Hey, Ajosa, how are you doing, my friend? James B. Can Uzan would be an insane signing. Is he on my list, Uzan? So there's Charlie Cresswell, who's an option. And after that, they go a bit downhill. I'd actually, unless I sell someone now, I don't want to upset the board too much. Leeds have made a Vata offer. 800,000. You're having a laugh. Can I negotiate this? Let's go 2.5 million. And additional fees after 30 games. 1 million. And then add another one. Installments, 2 installments of 2 million. They only want to pay 1 million for him. They obviously don't want to. $1.3. They're not going to go to where I want to go. What is Vata's wages? Yeah, I need to get rid of him. He's not going to be playing any football. They've gone for 1.9 million. His wages are like only 4.3, so that one doesn't make any difference either. Harness, his wages 12.5. I could do with getting rid of him. Hearts are rumoured to be interested. Looking to generate funds. Let's reduce him down. And offer him out. Hearts must have 3.9 million that they can spend. I'm prepared to sell him. It was my director of football who decided not to. 7 hours to go. Can we do this? Can we do this? Yeah, I'm looking forward to a coffee myself, Arjoso. He likes to bring in youngsters, but I'm not going to be bringing him in. Definitely not. Can we assume... I'm hoping so, yeah. So, I don't think anything is going to happen. Vata has joined Leeds. 5 hours to go. He's trying to get a defender in, isn't he? But not this one. He's trying to get a left back in. And that's maybe what I should be looking at doing. I don't think I need a left back. And Darba isn't very good. So I need someone who could play cross. So let's go and see if I can find a left back who can play across the line. So I want... Look at those. Got 9. Nope, just left. Just left. A winger? I've said left back. What are you talking about? He can play across the line. And can play as the right winger in an emergency. How good is he? He looks fairly decent. His composure isn't very good, though. High aggression, yeah. Looking for mentals. He's not bad. And I'm not looking for a first team fullback. I'm just looking for someone who's prepared to sit on the bench. But if I can find a very good one, Wan-Bissaka is available. James Austin is available. He's not available now. Brandon Williams always does a good job in FM. Wonder what his value is. 39. Provide competition. Yeah, I'm going to go for Brandon Williams. 5.75 mil sounds reasonable to me. We'll drop that down. Let's try and bring Brandon Williams in. He only wants to be a squad player. And I wonder if I'm going to be allowed. Am I going to be allowed to offer him money? We'll try and bring that down a little bit. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. The board have let me do that, and even though I'm in dreadful... No offers for Harness. Loan offer for Ndaba. It's possible if Brandon Williams comes in, that's possible. So we won't do anything with that. I have to respond. They're not offering enough wages for me to... He has come in now. Yeah, I'm Marcus. I if they're not in my scout list, I don't buy them. The thing is, if I play this game like so often that I could just put a great team together just from previous knowledge, but I don't like to do that because I want every team to be different, and by doing it this way, you find hidden gems sometimes, and if I just keep picking the players that I've gone for previously, I'll never find those hidden gems. So my own rule is I can only sign players that are found by the scouts. So that's just basically a rule I have. And one of the things that I have is a very, very good chief scout. If you're looking for a chief scout, this is the person you need to be hiring as your chief scout. Helena Costa. She is exceptional. And they find tons of players as a team. I don't have to do anything. She will find players. So yeah, it's unfortunately my rule, and that way I can find little gems. I found so many good ones, like Leandro Camalo, South African, absolutely brilliant player. And I wouldn't have found players like that if I had done just actually put in the players that I know are good. So Diallo, I know he's good in FM, but he was on my list, so I can bring him in. Same as Brandon Williams. He does well in FM. If he's on my list, he can come in. Okay, so I don't know what the board are going to do about this wage nonsense. Because we are now spending way over. And they still won't make me adjust it, because I have money that could solve that problem. So we are done in the transfer window. Taylor not needed to be registered. I have one more space. He's under 21, under 21, under 21. So I've got one more space that I could put one of these has-beens in. Ling is under 21. He doesn't need Jack Taylor. Might as well put Jack Taylor back in them. I just thought, like, the game's been so mean, it would not allow me to sell my players. We spent 61 million. 27 million of it on Amad Diallo. He better perform now. Oh, now you're making a loan offer for him. Well, I want his wages. So they're never going to go for this. No, I knew they weren't going to go for it. So we reject that then. You either pay or you don't. Here we go then. We got to go and play a football match. We got to go and get hammered by Arsenal. In the same way as Manchester City, I'm hoping it's not a hammering. Hartel is out with the flu. Brandon Williams can now come in for Ndabo. Diallo can come in for Ling. What is his best position? He's actually resting. What's he resting for? Who gave him that time off? So we'll have to... and then Jack Taylor, Hartel. Firpo is fit. So he can come in instead of Sola. So we've got Harwood Bellis, Brandon Williams, Firpo. Hartel is now injured. He can go into the reserves. Get him out of the way. Sosa can come on for Sola. So we got Sosa, Fazzini, Ling, Jason, Delap. And now let's see. Oh, one of the interesting things to have a look at might be, as a result of the transfer window, have we been moved up? Season preview. We have. We've been moved up to 18th. So they like the signings that I've made, the 2 signings that I've made. We have made quite a few signings in that window. Sosa, Gold, Fassini, Diallo and Brandon Williams. I think we've brought in some very useful players. Hi Shane, good to see you. Yep, I'm doing well. I'm doing okay, mate. Happy to see you. Switch those over. Switch Wolfenden for Burgess and bring Harwood Bellis in. I think I probably agree with that. Positive to cautious. Cautious would be a little bit too much. I have got a higher line. Oh no, I don't want to play with a higher line of engagement. I've got a higher line of defense though. Maybe we do want to change this. Bring Harwood Bellis in for Burgess. Brandon Williams can be the right back. So no, I mean we're looking stronger, I guess, but it's not. It's whoa. Have I got? I thought he was on the bench as the striker, but it's like still a very very poor team. So hopefully though we're gonna go and get a result here against Arsenal. I'll just send them out and close my eyes. We've got nothing to lose here. It's just, this is sit back, boys, soak it up, and then see if we can't get one on the break. That's what this is all about. That's all I can do. We did well against Man City. We went 2-0 down, but we came back into it when they tired. But it was all about trying to defend, and we did really well until Haaland woke up. So if we can do the same, what I haven't remembered to do is to go to my opposition instructions. Havertz always is a problem. And of course Declan Rice. I'm not sure it will make any sense to try and type mark Saka and Martinelli. So I'm going to take a risk and take those off for now. It's better to stop the players who are supplying them, like this guy, rather than try and type mark those. Saka has a weaker foot, doesn't he? No. We'll go with that. There's a lot of players that I need to watch. But for now, I don't think it makes sense to try and type mark Saka and Martinelli. I think we do need to be closing them down a little bit more. Oh, Gould. Oh, he's not going to get many chances, you nutcase. Try and take the ones that we get. Hello, Oleg. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Come on. Oh, set piece goal against the set piece experts. Come on, boys. We did do a little bit of near post training, didn't we? Attacking corner training. I wonder if it's going to pay off. No. The game says you're not going to get anything out of it. Go on, Gould. What did he do there? Gould just stopped, smiled at somebody in the crowd, and let him go. I do want to watch these corners. Offside. He looked offside to me. He looked very offside. It's not going to be given offside, though. Even my defenders were appealing for it. It's this corners that we do have to... Yeah, he's offside a mile. He's offside. He was standing there. Okay, what am I going to do about... It's Saka and Martinelli. Close them down. Tight marking them is not going to help, but closing them down might. The corners of the penalty area are what I got to watch, because they are doing exactly what I thought they are. They're 75% down the middle. Offside again! Not going to give this one. I wanted to sell him Oleg for a long time. Oh, well, that didn't work, did it? The plan to defend. That didn't work. Right, I don't know what to do now. I'm going to push up into a mid-block. That's all I can do. That did not work at all. I mean, they haven't been any better than us. We've had 2 shots, 2 on target. They've just taken theirs. Whereas Gould blasted mine over the crossbar. It's the 2 wingers who are coming inside that are the problem. Oh, gosh. I hate those corners. Is this our first big defeat? What I am going to do is I'm going to go... I don't know why we're doing that. I'm going to go with what my assistant said and try and play higher up. Hi, Lezinema. Hi, Lezinema. Yes, all is well. I hope all is well your end too. I don't know why we're playing high up against Arsenal, but what I was doing wasn't working, so we'll try what the assistant says. We're going to leave big spaces behind us. But maybe that's what he's on about, that Arsenal will not look to use the space behind. They're going to play in this space here, as we can see. But we are leaving lots of space for them. Let's go much higher. Try and compress the space a little bit. We are getting taken apart here. Absolutely taken apart. It is Arsenal, I guess. They are top of the league. And we would do a good thrashing at some point. And I can see where the problem is. I forgot to change the positive. So it's all my fault. Everything is my fault. Let's go to cautious. Playing in positive against Arsenal was never a good idea. Saka is just doing whatever he likes. We're getting taken apart here. It might be a cricket score. So now I'm coming back into my low block with the higher line. And we're just going to play in cautious and see what happens. Oh, go on. Let's get one back. It is not good enough. Saka's just having a laugh. He's just like, he must be on a 10, is he? He's just like totally dominating the game. So Josh Tymon is going to be told to type mark Saka. Good luck, son. This is just unbelievable. So the FM is saying that Arsenal are far better than Manchester City. Yeah, Saka's just having a laugh, isn't he? Gabriel Jesus as well. He needs somebody. Let's tell Harwood Bellis to type mark Jesus. An absolute pasting. And we'll demand more from them. Nobody's playing well. Humphreys is having an absolute stinker. 4-0. Can I just close my eyes with this one? And what am I defence? Because there's nothing wrong with that. It's goal awarded. Oh, it has been disallowed, has it? What for? Offside? So it's a perfectly good goal. Oh, yeah, one of them in front of my goalkeeper. He wouldn't have saved it anyway. Look at Arsenal's ratings compared to my... Oh, God, not another corner. Because we haven't done any work on defensive set pieces, only attacking. Sometimes it ain't going to work. Sometimes you ain't going to win games. Saka's decided to have an amazing game as well as Gabriel Jesus. I don't know what to say to them except you've been terrible. And some of them are coming off. Gould is coming off. I don't know why he's so bad. Humphreys is coming off. Hurst is coming off. And Brandon Williams is coming on as well. 4 subs at half time. It's just like, boy. Sometimes a low block isn't going to work, I guess. And Saka's just ruling the roost. But hopefully if we type mark him now. Timon, who's on a 6.2, is having a torrid time. He has to come off as well. And I have to instruct Firpo to type mark Saka as well. Well, so far the match engine has been kind to me. They haven't added to the 3 goals they scored in the first 10 minutes. We started well. The first couple of minutes we looked like we had a chance against them for the first 3 minutes. Then they got 3 goals in about 8 minutes. And they've totally hammered us, really. I'm going to actually tell my team to get stuck in. Let's try and unsettle them. I might even go defensive in a minute. It's just horrid watching this. They've just taken us apart. Saka has done nothing since we put the defender on him. And Gabriel Jesus has done nothing either since he was type marked. So maybe that was the secret to this game. You've got to set players on them. We've got one back. A little bit more. Oh, he's going to be given offside, is he? Makes the scoreline look a little bit reasonable if we can have one there, referee. Yeah, we've got one back. That, for reference for the future, is about putting players, individual players, on individual players. So now we know about Arsenal, is that you actually have to assign players to players like Saka and the striker. Can't just zonally mark them. So who's on Saka? Oh, who went missing for Bo? He's actually having a good game since he's come on, but he went totally missing there. I want Furbo to close down even more. Come on, boys. I'm going to go defensive. I only have one more sub that I can make. Have I got any more, actually? No, I've used them all. Oh, boy. Somebody should have been marking Jesus, remember? It just goes to show how bad a team we are. I think we might have slipped to about 9th now, which is a bit of a shame. Is it about 9th? Yeah. Slipping down now, but one good win will restore us back. Arsenal have played exactly the way I expected them to. And we've been right to push the line up. Oh, no, not a penalty. Again. Come on, referee. Come on, FM. Can we have a penalty as well? You know, one day it would be nice. You keep giving penalties to the opposition. Can we get one? Would be nice, referee. Of course it's going in. 4-1 now. Damage limitation. I don't want to see that again. Saka has now got 8 key passes. He has gone and done a lot more since I made my last comment. But we've been absolutely hammered, and quite rightly. Sometimes, even doing the lines, you're not as good as the opposition. Somebody needs to hurt him. Break his leg. He's just like having a laugh out there. Nobody can cope with him. He's even winning the aerial battles. Come on, FM. He's about 4'11". Oh, boy. They keep doing that one, but at least this time somebody marked him. There is an instruction to type mark him. What have we given away now? Oh, come on, boys. This is painful. The Manchester City result was just a fluke by the look of it. The low block is out of shape as well. And that's because we are marking so many people. So what I need to do is to take everything off. We're just marking. The low block was all over the place. So we're going to take all this off. Because they're just pulling our team totally. Look at Saka. "5-1. Well, we would do a hammering at some point. Oh, Delap, you can't even put one in from a yard out. Like, he's another loanee who's scored 2 goals all season. Most of his ratings have been 6.2. And he's one game. He scored those 2 goals. That's it. That's all he's done. It's so annoying. I don't know why the game has picked on my loanees. None of them have ever had over, apart from that one game from Delap, none of them have ever had a rating of over 6.5. How am I supposed to play these players? And they're allegedly good players. But not one of them's had a rating, I think, over 6.5. I've had to play in the first half of the season the players who came up from the Championship. Because the loanees simply are awful. It's just, I don't know why the game's picked on my loanees. Let's get in the dressing room, boys. This has been unpleasant. Oh, God, not another one. Yeah, there's that young boy Saka out on the wing. We should sign him. Be nice if we had the money. Maybe in a few years. But in a few years we'll find somebody better than Saka. Right, rollicking time. Far from pleased. Don't expect me to say unlucky. And we are now down in 9th. So, as I said, guys, I am not expecting anything from this season. Finishing in 14th will be lovely. But we do, I think, have some better fixtures coming up. And I hate this glitch in this skin. Everton, West Ham, Nottingham Forest are better fixtures. When is Everton? Is there a delay? Yeah, they've got a week off. They're not resting. They're going to training. So, what I do know about FM is that you do generally, after a 5-1, bounce back. So hopefully we will bounce back. I do want to take a look at how Everton are going to play. Gegenpress. You are having a laugh. So we will go into our low block with a high line. At the moment, that's all I know. We are home Where are Everton? Where is Everton? Oh, they're high up, are they? Just above us. So we're going to play balanced. They've gone above us, have they? We need to take them off that perch. So all talk of Windows is all done. We just have got, was it 8, 9 games left that we have to manoeuvre and hopefully finish. We're still in the cup as well, aren't we? But hopefully Everton, West Ham, Forest, we should be optimistic of getting points. Although Everton have won again. Norwich have creeped above us now. So we got games that we could get points from. Another 4 points today, and then 40 points at the end of this episode. It'd be lovely. So one of the things that I did in this episode was change some of the responsibilities. And I've actually taken control now of the sales of players, because although that's a good thing to do when you're new to the game, it was a problem. It had become a problem. So at this point I need to take control of sales of players. Maximilian Salas, cheap. He's not the greatest player I've ever seen, but we'll scout him anyway. Ladapo, I don't care. Let's for now accept it. He's still not going to be registered. And he's out for 3 months anyway. Maybe he tore his hamstring writing the transfer request. We did whatever we could to sell those players. It's not my fault. And that boy looks like he might be okay. Let's definitely scout him. Not great. Not strong, not brave, not aggressive. This is a game we have to get stuck in. We need to let them know who's boss. Gegenpress. I don't think they can play a gegenpress. What we really should do is play out from the back. Try and outpass them, but I don't trust this team to do that. I don't think this team is good enough to play out from the back and try to bypass the press. It'd be a good experiment though, but I need the points. If we go 4-0 up, I might try and do that, just to see how it works. Ipswich will play Coventry. Coventry, interesting. Chelsea beat Brighton. That's, well, you would expect that. Coventry. Which league are they in? Championship. How far is it going to let me go in the FA Cup? Quarterfinals, maybe? Who knows? So after the good start we had to the session, it's not been very good. Who's direct? Scout. Can Uzan. 19 million. He would be a very good signing for next season. Hello, Tunkai. Good to see you, my friend. And it might be time to just pop these, to rotate the squad and to give the new boys a chance. See what they can do. But we won't be playing deadlock. So Howard Bellis, McKenna and Brandon Williams. Don't have a problem with that. Howard Bellis, McKenna. Is he fit again, is he? And Brandon Williams. Don't have a problem with that. He's ranked 2.5 stars. He's better than that. Yeah, he's better than that. So hopefully he'll put in the performances. And then I think he wants to keep the rest of it the same, doesn't he, my assistant? Apart from deadlock. But I don't want to keep it the same. Because I want Fazzini to play. And I'm tired of Morton at the moment. But I think his form is okay. Although it's declining, so I might give Hartel a game. Oh, he's injured, unfortunately. Humphreys can come in instead of Morton. Or actually Sosa. Let's play Sosa. Let's try him out. Wes Burns can be replaced by Diallo, who's also only given 2.5 stars. It's interesting because I think he's a very good player. So Diallo can play there. And Ling, Jason, Wes Burns can come in for Jason. Broadhead is fit again. He can come in for Ling. And those loanies can just sit on the bench. And that's probably about as good. I've got 2 left backs there, haven't I? So Sola can come on for Bo. I want to give the newbies a chance. You wrote surgery, you meant doctor or under surgery. Not quite sure what you mean, Tunkai. I had surgery a while back now, 2.5 months ago. Nasty surgery, very serious surgery. But recently I've been having a lot of tests done, and they're trying to get my medication right, not for my heart. What's happened is during the surgery, my nerves have got damaged in the shoulders. So they're trying to get medication to work for that. And that's been a big problem. And that's why recently I've been in the surgery a lot. Seeing doctors, being poked and prodded, all that kind of stuff. Now we can go back to 8th if we can beat Everton. So yeah, surgery is where the doctors are. It's where the doctors live, the doctor's surgery. So that's what I've been doing recently, is just visiting doctors. They're just trying to get the medication right, and hopefully then the pain that because of the nerves, they think it's going to take 2 years for the nerves to heal. Yeah, that's a bit savage, but I wanted to have it really short because I'm going away on holiday in 4 or 5 weeks. So I wanted to have it really short. So even if we lose, we'll stay in 9th, but I'd like to think we can win this. And I think it's time to give these new boys a run out. Let's see what they can do. And the first team looking a little stale to me. Get out there and show the world you've got what it takes. So we're not going to get beat 5-1 this time. What I don't want to do is to draw. So straight away they're looking to get a ball over the top. This is more like the real Everton. So this doesn't look like a gegenpress to me straight away. It's just a direct ball over the top. Well done. Now come on. Little bit of a break. Here's Ahmad. First time Ahmad gets to have a run. Go on, Sam. Gives it away. He'll fit into this team really well. First time he gets the ball, gives it away. Now that was more like a gegenpress, so they are playing a gegenpress. That was much more like a gegenpress. No more penalties, referee. It's becoming a bit of a nonsense. But interestingly, that's probably just the early on down the right hand side where I have an attacking wing back. Nothing else. And of course we will attack down the right, their right hand side. Allegedly. I'm not sure I want those on. I want to try and play across the pitch. But at the moment, since the first game, we've hardly created a chance. We did score 1 against Arsenal in that hiding. But since we started, it's the first game. It's only the Arsenal game. I'm being a bit too hard on the team. But it looks like we're playing okay when we break 4. Come on, cross it. Oh, what a chance, you dummy. That's why this is not a very good team. Because we can't take our chances. And we haven't been the better team. I don't expect us to dominate play, being in a low block, but I expect us to be creating more chances. I'm going to put him back as an attacking mid on support. Just see if that makes a difference. But at the moment, they are playing wing play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up to a mid block and drop the line to standard. Because at the moment, they're playing down the flanks. They might start coming up the middle now as a result of me dropping the line. But they're definitely focusing their play down the flanks. This is not a gegenpress. But yeah, a lot of play down the flanks. Nicely done. Brandon Williams needs to be told. Oh, that's a lovely pass. Now we... Oh, Gould. Do I need to tell him to shoot less often? I think so. He's got players on the 6-yard line. Look up. Go on, boys. That's a nice pass. Now, look for someone. Nope, he has a shot again. From an impossible angle. Look for someone. Yeah, Ahmad didn't look... Well, he'll fit into this team really well. If that's the quality that he's got, he's going to fit in here really well. Giving the ball away is what we specialise in. Straight up through the middle now. So we got to stop them playing through the middle. If that's... They've changed the focus a little bit. Good block. Braithwaite from 40 yards. Come on, FM. You can give us a goal or two in this game. I took the 5 on the chin. Again, giving the ball away. We're very good at giving the ball away. It's a good block, though. Come on, boys. Counter-attack goal. Where's Diallo? Inside. Oh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. See, when we get into the box and something happens in the box, we never get a penalty. The opposition have only got to walk into the box and they get a penalty. FM's got to tidy that up a little bit. Was a shot on target, I guess? Or was it on target? Oh, that's painful. But there is nothing I can do about mistakes. What was that? Oh boy, he would have scored anyway if he hadn't come out, but he made it look worse. Oh, we are going into this dreaded spiral now, aren't we? And what I'm going to do, work the ball into the box. We are going in. It was, yeah, I mean, good Lord. Like the goalkeeping errors last night, there were 4 of them. 4 all in one game. It was just absolutely awful. Just like watching this at the moment. Give the ball away again. Why not? We are definitely in give the ball away phase. I'm going to actually take play for set pieces off. And they are playing off these through balls to get behind our defence. So I need to lower the line. Interesting where the team playing through the middle, that you still need to lower the line sometimes to stop those through balls. I have to. I mean, we've come back into the game, but we haven't had a shot on target yet. Come on, FM. We've got a goal in us. What's Harwood Bellis doing out on the wing there? Oh, come on, FM. Are you going to just make me go into a terrible downward spiral, are you? Pepe and Franco. Oh, boy. We've actually had all the ball and probably been the better team, according to the stats. But then stats don't really matter if you don't score goals. And for a team that are just not very good, Everton look very good to me. So we are going to go into this. I knew it was coming, and I said in the title, I'm waiting for it to happen. We were doing too well. Way too well. I knew it was going to happen. And it's not that we're not working our lines properly. We're just being found out, basically. There's nothing we can do about this, except to attack them. Absolutely zero I can do. I have no idea what my goalkeeper's doing today. Absolutely no idea. Look at this defending. It's shocking. It's the attacking that's poor. Once again, we can't attack. So let's change the attack then. The defense actually isn't that bad. It's the attack that's awful. Gould has just suddenly stopped playing, which is really weird. Brandon Williams is having a bad game. And these two, Gould, George Hurst needs to come off. Hey ZSM, how are you doing, my friend? We're not doing too well here at the moment. We are going into a big downward spiral. Results are not happening. Just been beaten 5-1 by Arsenal, and now we're losing at home to Everton. A game I was kind of hoping we would win. We've slipped to 9th, and I wanted 4 points to get to 40 points, which would have been lovely, but we're not doing very well. So let's go attacking. Let's try it. Ahmad has come in. He looks like he's going to fit into the team. Lovely. He keeps giving the ball away. He's done it again. Oh, God. He's like another signing who can't play. You're offside, son. Offside a mile. Offside a mile. I'd be very surprised if that's given. Very, very surprised. But at least he got into the space. No, season 2. Still our first season in the Prem, but we have slipped. We were 8th at the beginning of the episode. We are now 9th. 2 very bad results. Very, very bad results. So I don't really know what to do. I thought we were going to, after Arsenal, we had better games and we were going to get results, but we're obviously not. And the lines, the funny thing is, the lines are not working anymore. I'm wondering about the switch. Has the switch happened? And all this nonsense, like we're just leaving the ball alone. I'm really seriously wondering if the switch has happened. It could be that the switch has come on because we were overperforming, and so the switch has come on. And now the lines don't seem to be working. Visually, the lines don't seem to be working. It's really strange. Whereas they've worked all season. And now suddenly altering the lines doesn't work. There's a switch in this game. And unfortunately, you can't control when the switch goes on and off. So, yeah, I'm thinking draw, defeat, defeat. There's a switch, and the switch has come on. Try a new tactic after half a season. That would be like... No manager in his right mind is going to change the tactic completely after half a season. It's the game. The game does this. There is a switch. And if you're overperforming, it will switch you off. And then the game controls it for a while. It will then turn the switch back on. And that is something in the game that I want removed. Everybody's playing a gegenpress against me at the moment. And we're not dealing with the gegenpress very well. So maybe I've got to figure out how to deal with the gegenpress. I've got to have a higher line. Maybe we'll go into a mid-block this time. We don't want to get stuck in. But yeah, there is a switch in the game, and I've talked about it for the last 3 or 4 months. And it's affected every one of the saves that I've been on. And for about 4 or 5 games, you do not have any control at all. The program has taken control off you. Like the lines are not working anymore. No matter what I do with the lines, it's just not working. So it's like the game has taken control from you. But in 4 or 5 games, you'll get it back. You'll get it back for sure. Morton has a cold. West Ham, my bogey team as well. I can never beat West Ham. I beat them with the Newcastle team. But only just. And that, like, is Newcastle team now is world-class players. And only just beat them. West Ham are my bogey team. I am not getting anything out of this West Ham game. So tactically, yeah, let's try a mid block and balanced. The low block doesn't seem to be working anymore. In fact, the lines don't seem to be working at all at the moment. But we just got to keep going. We will get some points at some point. But I was hoping that these games were wins, not defeats. I've also got to remember that we are a terrible team. Despite the transfers we've made, everyone who's come in has been terrible. So all the signings that we've made have been absolutely useless. Hartel's okay. In fact, the players that are playing well are the ones who came up from the Championship. The signings we've made have been absolutely useless. In fact, we spent 60-something million on players. We might as well have kept it in the bank. There's something strange about what's going on in the game. It's lower the tempo, Tunkai. What you're asking the boys to do then is to pass it around. He's got blisters. What? Injured through wear and tear of his boots. So that's 2 central defenders injured. Yeah, the game's doing something now. That I'm out of control. It's injured both of my centre backs. It's doing something that I can't control. And I want this taken out of the game. It's like a baby having a tantrum. And if somebody is overperforming, the baby throws its toys out of the pram and makes it impossible for you to win matches. I want that taken out of the game. So I've got no choice now but to play Burgess, who hasn't played forever and a day. But they're Championship players. Brandon Williams was awful. Don't have any choice. Burns can come back on the wing. Tyler Morton. Humphreys. Put the Championship players in now. Broadhead, Chaplin and Hurst. We'll see what my assistant makes of that. How am I feeling after the surgery? My heart and my lungs are feeling very good. But we're down in 10th now. See, the drop is coming. But the problem is that when you have surgery of that kind, there are knock-on effects. And in my case, what's happened is some of the nerves have been damaged. And the nerve damage is going to take at least 2 years to recover. So at the moment, the doctors are trying to solve the pain that's caused by the damage to the nerves. And it's proving difficult, shall we say. But hopefully this time we've got there. Just got to wait for it to kick in now. So Williams, Firpo, Sola, Fazzini. Actually, Sosa would have to play centre back at 5'9". Could play the cover role. Hartel, Diallo and Delap on the bench. Was a safe Ipswich favourite or set? West Ham are clear favourites. Actually, I'm going to be in a low block. I'm going to stick with what we were doing. If the switch has gone, it doesn't matter what I try. So we'll just stick to what we know and wait for the game to allow us to come out of this. I hate this switch. It's really horrible. And I've been actually complaining about, it's not new this, I've been complaining about this switch for about 4 or 5 months now, I think, since I first noticed it. It's a piece of code that just gives control back to the AI. And it does it for five games, something like that. Right, here we go then. Shall I try that? Hit early crosses. Let's just try it. Something that's different. Well, that's the championship team playing again. Let's get them back together. The new signings are dreadful. There's your boy. Just getting on a little bit. Left foot. Strange how all the signings that I've made have been so bad, which is why also this is a strange save, because it's not really a beginner save. It's like based on an experienced manager save. Because Season 1 and Season 2 are supposed to entice you into the game. And that's what generally happens. Like, the first 2 seasons I played in FM24. Do you remember when Notts County? And we absolutely romped everything. In fact, at one point I thought we might win the FA Cup. So that's what a beginner save is. It's fairly straightforward, fairly easy. This, as a first and second season, has not been easy. So I think the game also bases your save on your current profile and the amount, because it counts counts all the wins you've had. It counts it counts defeats. It counts your tactic. It actually makes a note of all those things. And so if you actually done well in the game, it's going to start your next save at a difficult level. Which is why we've had all these difficulties. Like not being able to sell players, both centre-backs getting injured at the same time. It's trying to make it as difficult, which it shouldn't be in Season 2. It's supposed to be enticing me to play the game. Oh, go on, Sam. How many times do I see that? And it doesn't matter if I tell him to shoot less often. He's already on shoot less often. And they do the same for the other one. He's on shoot less often as well. How many times do I see them, the fullbacks, blasting the ball over the bar when there are 4 or 5 players inside them? Well, so far the low block is doing all right against West Ham. Any yellow cards? None so far. Come on, FM, give us a win. Please give us a goal. Can you give us a goal? Be nice. Sometimes all you can do is sit and wait for the game to let you back in. It's kind of like, I see it like if you're playing Monopoly and it comes to your turn and the person opposite you says, no, you can't have a turn. And you're like, why not? Because I've decided that you're not going to have, you're doing too well. You're taking all the properties, so you're not going to have a go for 5 goes. And it's kind of like that. What's going on is kind of like that with FM. FM does that. And it will not let you have a go until it's happy that things are evened up, which is usually about 4 or 5 games. They've spotted the fact that I have reduced my lines. So if you've spotted it, I'm going to go back. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think, ZSM, that there are pieces of code in there which actually tantamount to cheating. Just because someone is doing well, it doesn't mean that you have to stop them doing well. And it makes me cross, to be fair, that there's a piece of code that just switches off everything that you do. And it just gives control to the AI for a while. And that is something I really don't like about the game. Because everything you've done, everything you've set up has been working perfectly. And then the game takes it away from you. It is like that Monopoly scenario where you're told, no, you can't have a go. You're doing too well. You've got all the properties. So, oh God. So you can't have a go for 5 goes. Sorry, but that's the way we're playing this game. And that would frustrate you playing Monopoly too. It's and that I want it taken out. Nobody has ever told me from SI that it is not in there. They have not denied it. And I want it taken out because it's a cheat. Why should you have your goes taken away from you? And we're in that patch now. Everything has been working perfectly. And we're in that patch where I'm just under the control of the AI now. The lines are not working at all. So it's just kind of like taking any control away from me. It's easier to do a line of code where any input has no effect. Like that. I'm going to berate them just for the hell of it. And it's frustrating, but it will give it back to me. At some point, it will give the control back. So the lines are absolutely perfect for what West Ham are doing. Hey, Krishna Rock, how you doing? Yeah, that's the switch. If you do too well, you will be switched off. And that's exactly what's happened here. The only thing you can do is ride it out. The only thing you can do is ride it out. Because if you start changing things and doing things, that's just going to frustrate you even more. Because they end up playing even worse. So all you can do is sit there and accept it. That looked like a handball to me. And my players just... You saw them in the penalty area there. It was just like... They just didn't do anything. So you're just switched off, and the teams you're playing, lucky old teams, because we're not on the pitch. So all you can do, keep doing what you were doing and just ride it out, and eventually it will come back to you. See, we can't score a goal at the moment. It's like we're not allowed. Both your left backs. In this game, I had both my centre backs injured just before this game. Both my first team centre backs. Let's give West Ham a helping hand, shall we? So don't change anything. It's silly to change anything. If I go attacking, they will score more. Let's work the ball back into the box again. If we go attacking, they'll score more. If we go defensive, that encourages them to come on to us. Do nothing. There's nothing you can do. Gould is playing fairly okay, so let's just focus on him. But most of them are having a nightmare again. Last chance, boys, before I take a lot of you off. Chaplin is playing awfully, but he's the only one I've got. I need to try somebody else there. Chaplin's really, really bad at the moment. And he was one of the star performers before this. Yeah, 6.4, 6.4, 6.5. He's got to come off. We've got to try someone else there. Let's try Diallo. Nah. Attacking midfield. You can tell him to dribble less. Do not give the ball away. Wes Burns, Cameron Humphreys, Fazzini can come on for Humphreys. Garosibel, these are supposed to be good players, the players I've brought in. Tyler Morton is tired. And George Hurst is having a nightmare up top. Oh, come on, boys. Giving the ball away, all sorts of shit is going on here. How long is it going to be? I think probably the next 2 games. We'll get it back in the cup. We'll go and win the stupid cup match. And then that will be that. We'll be back under control. But at the moment, it looks like we're getting sucked into the relegation battle. Because we're now in 11th. 11 games to go. We're only 10 points above the relegation battle, so I think we're getting sucked into the relegation battle. This is what the game wants. That's what the game decides it's going to have. Nothing I can do about this, the switch. I mean, at least we're going to survive. We, on the other hand, can't score a goal to save our lives at the moment. Delap has never been able to score a goal. Emerson is a problem. And it's at times like this where I just switch off. Like, I don't care. When you haven't got control, why focus? It'll come back in the cup. The stupid cup game. And we're not going to win the cup, so I don't care about the cup, but that's where it will come back. That's where we'll win next. So I think we need to go to key highlights and get there, because this is just silly. We'll just get to the cup. If I've got no control, then we'll give the control to the AI. We won't even watch it. I did a video on this a while back. It was called "Does Your Manager Need a Holiday?" And the best way to actually deal with this is to go on holiday. And if you go on holiday for 2 weeks, tests show that by the time you come back after 2 weeks, you've got control back. And that's the strange thing about this, that actually the best thing you can do is go on holiday for 2 weeks. Then when you come back, it's all fixed. And that is how I know, because I've tested it, that it exists in the game. I tried it with, I tested it with instant results, so that had no effect. And then I thought, well, let's go to the game, and then after 2 minutes, go to the pub. So we started watching the game, hit instant result. It had no effect. The only way that it had an effect and changed it was if the manager went on holiday. We tested it lots of times and came out with the same result all the time. So that's why I did the video, "Does your manager need to go on holiday?" And like, everybody is just absolutely annihilating us at the moment. Just absolutely annihilating us. Doesn't matter whether they're bottom of the league, championship, or whatever, they'll annihilate us. Oh boy. But we've just got to go through it until it gives us control back. And I've said in many videos, many streams, that it's not good enough. As a game, the game cannot cheat. It's just not good enough. Otherwise, it's not a game. If you have this piece of code where people overachieve, that piece of code is takes away the game from you. That's cheating. It's cheating. And I will stand by that and say I want that line of code taken out. Okay, ZSM, mate. Good to see you. You do have control, Shane, for most of it. But when you are overachieving like we were, and that's why the title of this video was "I'm waiting for disaster to strike." Because we were doing too well. And the disaster I was referring to is the switch. And there's a line of code in there, which is a switch. And if you are doing too well, it takes control off you. And as I said, it's rather like playing a Monopoly and you're doing well and you've got loads of properties all over the board and it's your turn and somebody opposite you says, no, you can't have a turn for 5 turns because you're doing really well. That's cheating. And in the same way, the game is doing the same. And I'm standing by that until somebody from SI comes out and confirms there is no line of code that does that. And so far, nobody has come out and confirmed there's no line of code that does that. So we'll stand by that. And I say take it out. Because it's cheating. And you see all sorts of crazy shit happening at this stage. So the best thing to do is to go on holiday, because it will just frustrate you otherwise. But unfortunately, I can't go on holiday. I've got to suffer it. So I'm going to try and suffer it as best I can. We're not getting our control back until Coventry. We'll get control back at Coventry, because the game will want me to win the stupid Cup 5th round. Then we get control back. So against Tottenham and Liverpool and Chelsea, we'll probably get good results. And this really annoys me. You watch against Tottenham and Chelsea, we get good results, because I have control back and the lines will be working again. And that shouldn't happen. So at the moment, I'm just really giving control to my assistant as much as I can, because I've been switched off. I'm going to try, actually. I'm going to try and see if the lines work against Nottingham Forest, but I don't think so. Oh, I got to give him control over the team, though. Tottenham have appointed Ipswich. All right, okay. We need another scout. That's not my job. And he hasn't come up with... let's go to the bench. Timon. So he's put 2 left backs on the bench. So that would guarantee that the right back has an awful game, if you don't have a right back who can come on. I've only got 1 midfielder on the bench. Sosa can come onto the bench. Diallo, Ling and Hurst. Ling, I fed up of. Broadhead can come onto the bench instead. Yeah, the line system, Shane, works with any formation. I've been using it in 5-3-2. I've used it in this 4-1-2-2-1. I've used it in the 4-1-2-3-2, 4-2-3-1. It works with any system. And basically what you're doing is you're compressing space. You're bringing your team closer together. So you're still going to get bodies behind the ball in any formation. It's not the formation that's important. Formation is to do with an attacking system in terms of creating space. Your formation helps you to create space for yourself. Defensive-wise, there's no issue, because if you're playing in a low block, everybody should be behind the ball, pretty much. And that's why Amorim is having such problems at Manchester United, because he can't get them to turn when they lose the ball. He can't get them to turn, run back and get into shape. That's the problem he's having. And they can do it for like 30 minutes, and then they keep forgetting that they have to do it. And they look appalling when they forget. And defensively, they looked awful yesterday. Not because the back four was poor, or the goalkeeper, but because people were not getting back into position. And that's the problem he's got with them. So we'll try the lines with this one. Weak left foot. He's got a weak left foot. But unfortunately, because I'm not focused, I don't know how they're actually going to play. So I'll have to wait and see until I get into the game. But I don't think I'm going to be given... I'm actually going to be given control back at this stage. It's too early. Way too early. And everybody seems to be just like... The game's taking the mick in that it's made 5 and 3s and we can't score. When everything was perfect just up to this point. Yeah, see, we're just giving the ball away all the time now. So I still don't have any control by the look of it. Is this going to be another 5-0, is it? Oh, come on, FM. This game needs to sort itself out. I don't want to see it again. Ah, boy. Let's go. I think I'm going to go to commentary in a minute because it's getting ridiculous. Two 0. Nearly. Just need to see where their focus is. Looks like down the flanks, but it's actually down the middle in the main. So we're doing exactly what we should be doing. But it doesn't seem to be making any difference. What I do want to do is take this off. That is not working anymore. So teams are scoring at will against us, but we can't score a goal to save our lives at the moment. And unfortunately, I used to think it was to do with roles and different ways that you were playing, but I've just come to the conclusion that the switch is off. And it will switch you back on at some point, but it's not yet. Oh, we got a goal. Maybe we've been switched back on. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly have a high line. What it just means, if you think about areas of the pitch, let's just stop it here. Let's go back out. Let's zoom out. So we've got areas of the pitch here. If you have a high line, you will actually, your line will be in this area of the pitch. So let's say that where that join is between the two greens is where you are going to engage the opposition. So basically, when they play the ball, your forwards are going to try and win the ball back from here. Whereas if you're in a mid-block, it's from here. So they can play the ball around as much as they like. But when they get to here, your players are suddenly going to start engaging with them. The low block will be way back here. They can do whatever they like in all this space. But when they get to the halfway line, then they're going to start engaging. That's what the blocks do. So you don't have to counter press. If you're not good at it, then it's not a very good thing to do anyway. It's not a smart thing to do anyway. So you can play with a high line, and it just means basically we're going to try and play the game as high up the pitch as we can. Counter pressing just means that every single time they get the ball, we're going to counter press. Whereas if you take that off, you're still going to press, but you're not going to do it all the time. And so, yeah, without the press, you can still play high up the pitch. It's really the position on the pitch is where you want to play, the high line. And that depends on how good your team are at doing things. If you are good at creating a nuisance of yourself, like good aggressive, you have good work rate, good stamina, acceleration, then yeah, play with a counter press. Because counter pressing is really just making a nuisance of yourself, and making it difficult like that for them to play the ball out. So yeah, absolutely play a high line, even though you're not counter-pressing. I'm not counter-pressing, but he still won the ball high up the pitch. And I just wonder, have I been given control back here? Because Delap has scored, which is that's a bit of a shocker. So maybe my lines have started working again, because I made a slight change. Maybe I've been given control back. It doesn't last long, it's 4 or 5 games usually. And a good sign is when somebody like Delap scores. Still in 9th. Well, top 10 would be really good. 14th would be really good. Top 10 will be excellent. And well deserved as well. Yeah, maybe we've got control back now. All I did was push the line up a little bit, and now maybe we've got control back. So all is not lost. But it always leaves a sour taste in my mouth coming out of it, because you should be enjoying this now. But I just know it's just, oh, okay, you've put the switch back on. So it takes some of the enjoyment away. And they've got to take that switch out. It's ridiculous. So maybe I won't get the silly injuries like the 2 centre-backs being injured anymore. You see, with the low block, we are not interested in engaging. Nobody's engaged them until they got near the halfway line. Still not. Now we're going to engage when they come over the halfway line. That's the low block. And mid block is just slightly higher up. And now we are 4-1 up. A game that does not make any sense at all. So sometimes I wonder, okay, just you have control, AI. Do what you want. And now all that after going a goal down, and we just made a simple change. Pushed the line higher up, and now it seems to have sorted itself out. I mean, they are playing supposedly a gegenpress, and it looks exactly like a gegenpress should look. And I don't need to say any more than that, I don't think. So that is exactly what a gegenpress should look like. Although they are focusing a little bit down the left now. Just maybe trying something different. And there's just a little change to the momentum because they're maybe focusing more down the flanks now. But I think it's too late for them. Probably time to make a couple of changes very soon. And just when I was criticising Chaplin and Delap, he gone and scored the goals. Time to make some changes. The attacking wing back always does a lot of running. Gould is tired. We will bring on Soso and Fazzini so that we can rest Humphreys and Morton. And then we wait until somebody else gets really tired. But that, again, it does look exactly like a gegenpress should look. And so the high line will sort the gegenpress out. And usually the block is about who you're playing. So for good teams, a low block. For teams who are similar to you, mid block. And for teams who you think you are much, much better than, go with a high press. Adjust your lines accordingly and you should be fine. Except when the switch is on. Well, we're going to get number 5. Give us a little bit of goal difference. Nope. They're going to get number 2. Nice counter-attack, and that's one of the things that you have to hold your hands up to, because if you don't have enough players back from a set piece, or you're too attacking, you've got too many players up the pitch. And there were too many players up the pitch in that instance, but we've won the game. We've won a game. But we have gone down to 10th in the table. We started in 8th. Burns injured out for 3 weeks. And it's important, very, very important now, to make sure, because he hasn't done anything, make sure when he scores you go and praise him. And maybe he'll get one next time. With that, guys, we've done 3 hours. Do you buy players on any particular actress? Absolutely, Shane. I need to do a video on that, actually. But it will depend on what kind of team you are. For this Ipswich team, the attributes that you need are mental and physical. You need to be aggressive to begin with. Oops, light's gone again. You need to be aggressive, and they need to have good work rate and good teamwork. if you can get players with good decisions, that's good. Strong players and very brave. And because you're gonna ask them to play in a low block, and people forget about bravery. It means they're gonna have to throw their bodies in front of things, and they're gonna hurt. So you need brave players. As your team gets better, then you can start to look for more technical players, and bring in more technical players later, one by one. But for now, you just need absolutely solid, brave, strong, determined, good work rate, good teamwork. That's what I kind of want in a player at this stage. Coventry in the cup. Let's play that last one then, and then we'll call this a day. Let's rest them, except for Burns. So that they can rest up. Coventry hopefully will prove no problem. I will still not play in a high press against Coventry. It's kind of like not based on Coventry being a bad team, but it's based on us not being a good team. And that's... Well, look, Chelsea lost. They made sure Chelsea lost at this point. So it doesn't matter how poor Ipswich are. Coventry are. I know Ipswich are poor. You do have to give them respect. And if we are not good enough, I will play in a mid-block, because I don't want to give them all the pitch. But they probably play with a wing style or the fluid counter-attack or something like that. So, and we are home, so I will play positive. And I've also decided to take those off because it's not working at the moment. And work the ball into the box. So we'll see how they play. Just like, get away. They're going to play a vertical tiki-taka. You're having a laugh, are you? Okay, we are not good enough to play that nonsense. So if they're playing a vertical tiki-taka, I've got to raise the lines. Because they're going to attempt to pass it around in front of me. Very brave. Very, very brave of them. And it might even be, if they're good at it, I might have to go back into the low block because there'd be too much space between the lines. So, thinking out loud there, if I'm in a mid-block, there's a lot of space for them to play in there. And if I haven't got really good players, they'll take advantage. So I need to close the space. So I am going to go into a low block. I mean, the good news is my team know how to play that low block. It's very important that they know how to play that low block. And they are very familiar with what I want them to do now. Do I dare bring Jason in? But that's I suppose. Oh, Diallo's cup tied. So Jason can come in. Do I dare? And time to give Hartel a game. Sola also needs a game. Not Sola. Sosa. Sosa needs a game, as he can play as the DLP, but also I think I want to play Frazzini, so I'm going to play Hartel as the DLP, I think, ahead of Sosa. No, I'm not. Sosa's a better player. And then Jason will play on the wing. Gould is playing well. and Hurst. Then I have Burgess, Timon, Firpo. But these are both left backs. So Solar, Humphreys, Hartel, Broadhead. Might be time to give Broadhead a game rest. Gould, Broadhead, and I want a attacking player. Have to be Ling. Oh no! Oh no, I've got Ling on the bench. Oh no! Who does he fear? Right. Advance forward. So let's have a look at that data hub again. A wing back on attack. Inside forward this side. An inverted wing. So they do have space on the flanks. So it actually this time might be a good idea. And also this wing back needs to close down more. And this one less. So I need to deal with that when I get to the... When I get to the game, I must remember to deal with that. Oh, and we've got an injury to the goalkeeper. So maybe the game hasn't forgiven me yet for whatever I did to upset it. Who's my reserve goalkeeper? Let's have a look at his advice. Oh, he's a good goalkeeper, actually. Did well last year. And I don't have another goalkeeper, so we'll put Firpo on the bench. I'm sure that my other goalkeeper get injured now. No, we need to play positive. We should be beating these boys. And actually, does it matter if I lose? No, not really. It's the cup. We're not going to win it. I just find it strange that they're going to attempt to play a vertical tiki-taka against a Premier League team. Doesn't make sense. And immediately that doesn't look like a vertical tiki-taka. And I don't think at the moment any one of these is anything to write home about. And this wing back I need to close down more, and the other wing back less. Well, we've made the better start. Settling down into what a vertical tiki-taka might look like now. It's becoming a vertical tiki-taka. So if my lines are working, these should work. And the fact that they will use where the inside forward is. Remember Saka in the Arsenal game? They're going to use this corner of the penalty area, which is why I want the left wing back to close down more, to stop them doing that. It is a rotated team, but that might be a good idea. Penalty, ref. That's inside the box. If you give that outside the box, I know the game is cheating. He was inside the box. Why don't you have to go to your little monitor? Oh, come on. I know that was inside the box. We're just not being allowed to have a penalty at the moment either. The game is really trying to wind me up. So these lines should be stopping them. But the worry is, because I'm in positive, that our lines might get out of shape. Well done, Hursty. Now I want my lines to get back into shape to stop them doing that. Does resting the players take away from their training and development? Training and development doesn't work. So the answer to that is no. And like training and development happens at certain times in the season. At this, like, there are 4 functions: there's fitness, teamwork, tactics, and set pieces. There are lots of different reasons why you do training. At the beginning of the season, they will focus on fitness, just fitness, nothing else in pre-season. The end of pre-season, they'll start looking at tactics, start work on shape and how the coach wants them to play. And then they'll do that right up until October. There'll also be a fitness element, also a fitness element to training up to about October. A lot of endurance training will go on at that point. But generally, training after that is very light. Because the amount of games they start playing in January, it's just, you don't want to be doing anything. And if I did a training video, that's how I would be doing it. But unfortunately, training doesn't work in FM24. And I think somebody told me somebody's actually proved it. Might be Zealand who's actually proved it. I haven't seen that video, but somebody told me. But I've had a feeling for most of FM24 that it doesn't work. It doesn't matter. What's going on here is they've switched, which is quite interesting for Coventry. They fancy themselves, or they've got a decent manager who's able to switch the style of play. So I can see they've switched to putting it more out the wings. Immediately I lower my line. Did you see that little switch? They've gone back. And they are trying to play games with me. And immediately I made that change. Did you see the reaction? And now they've gone back to, they start to play much more up the middle again now. And that again is how a gegenpress looks. So you have to be aware that sometimes this becomes a game of chess. And I should have a high line at the moment, which is what I'm going to do. Because they have switched back to playing in a gegenpress. And it was really interesting that they recognized that I was closing down the space out through the middle. And then they suddenly switched to wing play. And now they've gone back to a gegenpress. So I have to adjust my lines accordingly. What we're not doing is playing well against the crosses. There is some movement in terms of crosses, but not enough from their wide players to make me panic. There is a tall boy that they have up front. 6'4", yeah. So I need to put... Who's my tallest? (6'2", and Wolfenden is 6'3", so he needs to be type marking this geezer. He can type mark to a degree, but he's very, very tall, and they are a little threat down the left-hand flank. Not too much I should panic. But now you can see they're totally back in a gegenpress. We have changed the lines accordingly, and they're not really causing us any problem at all now. So we have control back. And FM let me know in no uncertain terms, okay, I've given you control back now, when we had that victory in the last game. And I want this taken out of the game. It's dreadful, but it's not my game. I don't make it. Look at Jason, 6.3. What a terrible, terrible player. What a dreadful player. Never, never sign Jason. Brandon Williams is poor again. Well, it might be good, because I have Cameron Burgess on the bench, who's 6'4". Jumping, reach, and heading are awesome. So I'm seriously considering taking off Wolfenden and putting Burgess, or taking off McKenna. Wolfenden's on a cover. McKenna might be better on the cover, though. No. So we have somebody now who is able to take that boy out, and then we can tell him not to do it. So he's a bit taller, so we can take him out. And hopefully that will see us through. We've been the better team. We just need to score another goal. Maybe Burgess from the set piece, putting the tall boy on the pitch now. I mean, that was a really interesting... Oh, Broadhead has got a goal. Yes, Jerry, it was a really interesting thing that happened, and I'm glad you guys saw it, because as soon as I dropped the line, they focused more up the middle. And this is the match engine in operation that you're watching. Some managers are capable of doing that, but it's their response that's important to what you do. So when I lowered the line, they went more down the middle. Then when I saw they were going down the middle, I lifted the line up after that. After that, they never changed. That was it. They gave up. So better managers will play chess with you. Maybe after 80 minutes, they'll suddenly change it, and you'll be thinking you've won the game. But managers who are not so good, AI managers, all have a rating, I guess. And if they're not so good, maybe they'll change it once just to try you out. But after you figure it out, they'll give up. Whereas your top managers could do it at any time. And that's why being vigilant with these changes, because now we're perfectly placed in terms of our lines. Perfectly placed. And there's nothing that Coventry can do about it, which is why they have 5 shots and only 1 on target. Although we should have this covered because he's not closing down. And he did take it off him, but gave it away. Mistakes I can do little about. But he did his job because he's not closing down on that side. And they just took the ball off him. And we have defended it. So everything worked perfectly well there. And that's when you see that, they're playing a control possession or a gegenpress or a vertical tiki-taka. That's what it will look like. Absolutely 100% across the whole pitch. I know, I was excited about getting him in, but he's absolutely rubbish. I've never seen such a bad player. It's like, what? It's like, what have we got here? Would you step up to a mid-block at 2-0 now? The block is about where your team are comfortable. My team are comfortable in a low block. And they're not good enough to be going chasing after the opposition. They don't have the stamina, the work rate. They're not aggressive enough. So just let the opposition have the ball in their own half. And my team is comfortable doing that. They can do that. If I ask them to push higher up, they find it problematical. I'm going to say nice work. It was good work. They responded to my instructions. So for once, it does look like the switch is off. Because now what we're doing is working. And now we have to play in the FA Cup quarter-final, which isn't very nice. So I'm going to call it a day there. I'm dying for a cup of tea. I just want to say it's good to be back because I've missed 3 days because of health stuff. And it's good to be back despite this nonsense that went on. Arsenal, you expect a defeat, but there is no. But we have been switched back on. Forest, it was definitely switched back on. And we saw it in action against Coventry. We saw the lines working perfectly. So we're switched back on, and hopefully now we'll get a few points out of these difficult games coming up. We're going to finish in 10th. If you'd have said to me before the start of the season you're going to finish in 10th, I'd have taken that without any problem at all. And I would say that would be a super season. Even if we finished on 39 points, I would say this would be how you survive in the Prem. You just are vigilant. You do nothing apart from work the pitch. Leave your staff to do everything else. You have seen a change in that we have taken some of the stuff off the staff. We took the initiating sales off the director of football. He was messing it up. So as you go through it, you can take little bits and do those yourselves. But this is how you do it. It's just the work on the pitch at the moment as a beginner that's important. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. And we will be back on Monday. I'll be back on Sunday with the Journeyman save, which hopefully is reaching its conclusion soon. And I'll see all of you guys, if not there, on Monday. Thank you for coming. I'm going to have a nice cup of tea now. And I will see you all on Monday. Be safe. Take care. See you soon.